just get waylaid.
Oh, God.
Then some guys got into it, so the coach goes, okay, let me go get the boxing gloves. And then they did the boxing glove routine. And I was like, oh, my God.
Now put on your headgear for boxing.
That's when I was in junior high, I think 8th grade, Jackson Junior High.
Yeah, Claude Mathis leaving DeSoto. He cost his team 2 semifinal championship wins with 2 15-yard
penalties.
Bench penalties. Cost his team possible 2 victories back to back. Couldn't shut up and just couldn't. 15-yard penalties in the semifinals. Back-to-back years. It's too hard on him. He's too, I don't know.
Oh, my God. Now they put me on another game.
Irving Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning.
From the campus of Irving Nimitz High School in Irving, Texas, it's the ICTN Game of the Week. This week, it's high school girls volleyball. Saginaw, the Rough Riders, against the Nimitz Lady Vikings. Hi, everybody. Rob Willman with you. John Nelson will join us in just a moment. The Lady Vikings, as you take a look at the head coach of the Lady Vikings, Joy Engeldinger, and her Lady Vikings trying to get on the winning ways here. They had close to 12 games in a tournament recently. In fact, she told me they played at 8 o'clock in the morning the first round. She said that was an early game to get the girls up and get them awake and get them on the court. But she said so far she's really happy with the production of her team and is looking forward to just keep building on what they've done so far. They'll have their hands full. Saginaw under Gina Calkins and their group, a very solid team with good size up front. One of their key players, though, injured, could miss the season with an ACL, and they'll miss her up front. But let's go ahead and take a look at the lineups. First of all, for the Lady Rough Riders, Quintilla, Puente, Morrow, Turner, Galvan, and Bowden, your starting 6. And then for the Nimitz Lady Vikings, McGee, Box, Rodriguez, Morado, Miles, and Benavides, your 6 on the court to start this game. Nimitz started the season with a win over Berkner in 3 straight. Saginaw with the win over Arlington Seguin to start their season off. Won that one in 3 straight as well before the tournament started. And they got all those games under their belt. And both coaches told me they were pretty happy with the fact that they got a lot of games like that. And ironically, Coach Engeldinger told me that even though they played at the Saginaw tournament, she did not have a chance to scout and watch the Rough Riders play. So she says, ironically, here we are playing host to the Rough Riders here at Nimitz. The Lady Vikings made it to the playoffs last season, and she told me earlier before this ball game the fact that they did go to postseason, went to the bi-district round, even though they lost, that the 6 returners were in her office the very next day saying, okay, Coach, what do we got to do? Let's start. We're ready to begin next season. And, in fact, all 3 Irving schools made it to postseason, but Joy's group had the best of the 3 in postseason, really gave Highland Park a run for their money in the get-go. All right, we're about ready to serve here, and the Rough Riders will be to the right in the dark uniforms, and the Lady Vikings to your left there with the white tops. As we get set the officials make sure that everyone is where they need to be. The libero gets her spot, and we're ready, I believe, to start action. And with the call, we always call him Mr. Nelson. Some call him John. Mr. Nelson.
That is total respect. Thanks, Rod. And as you said, Nimitz making the playoff picture last year, finished second to Irving in the district at 10-3, won 21 games overall last year. And Sierra Turner, number 9, will serve first for the Rough Riders of Saginaw out of District 5-5A. Team last year that finished 5-17 on the road, and the serve receive taken by Orozco, number 5 on the outside. Tatiana at the net, and just over the outstretched hands of number 3 in the middle, Briella Box. 1-0 Rough Riders.
Benavides had a really good shot at it, but give the Rough Riders their due. They were able to dig that one out and get the point.
A couple of basketball players you are familiar with on this Lady Viking team. One of them is Benavides. That one tipped at the net by Miles, number 15. Back deep is Orozco, setting it up and teed it up for number 3, Box. And just got it inside the sideline. 1-1. Briella Box, one of 5 juniors. Joy has 6 seniors and 1 sophomore on the varsity roster this year. Saginaw comprised of 4 seniors, 7 juniors, and 2 sophomores. Paloma Orozco, number 12, serves, goes deep. Taken by Quintanilla at the net. No touch, and the return is long. It is 2-1 Nimitz. On the outside, Miles. In the middle, Benavides. Also in the middle is Rodriguez for Nimitz. With a back to the net, guided over nicely. Rushing to save it is Morado, number 7. The high set by Quintanilla and into the net. Didn't get all of it. Bailey Morrow, 5'10 junior, coming up a little short. And a 3-1 Irving Nimitz lead.
Well, they had it set up. She just didn't get enough elevation on it.
Paloma Orozco goes middle deep, taken by Quintanilla. Up high, Turner, back down, knee save by Morrow. And it will count. Morrow together with Puente, number 3, and the second point for Saginaw.
One of those, do I touch it? Do I touch it? No. Oh, I should have touched it.
Haley Lancaster, the libero, scoots back, rushes to the service line, and the jump serve. McGee cut it off on a knee. That's Lancaster. Outside to Tatiana. Nice diving save. Headed this way as it went off of Quintanilla, number 2. And knotted up at 3. So close.
Hands up, had the block. Just couldn't stay in bounds. I know it's early, John, but we've seen some good play here in the early go.
Yeah, Coach, Joy telling me a lot of these girls now playing club more so than the last couple of years. On the outside, Brianne Miles finishes it off. And a 4-3 Lady Viking lead. Miles comes out, and Keontae Jones in, number 4, to serve.
So far, not a lot of unforced errors. I mean, just good old-fashioned aggressiveness and scoring.
And Jones with a floater, rushing to save it as Quintanilla. Outside, one-on-one contact, and above the plane. Point Nimitz, 5-3. May have gotten a little bit over the plane, Lauren Puente, number 3, on the outside. And here is number 17, Bowden. Denied, Benavides. Hip save, Lancaster. Up high to Benavides and blocked briefly by Puente. One-on-one with Bowden and Morado. Point Saginaw. It is 5-4. And to serve, number 3, Lauren Puente. And she finds Deadwood around McGee, number 1, and the ace ties it up at 5.
Well, McGee and Jones both looked at each other, and no one made a move.
Puente, the senior, going to that same area. Rodriguez getting it over. 6-5 Nimitz. Saginaw beat the Lady Vikings last year in non-district.
Don't have to slam it every time. Placement, just as important.
Just in front of Puente, and a nice hard serve taken by Lancaster. Lancaster with a back to the net, guides it over. Roscoe there. Resetting it is McGee. Up high for Orozco. Outside Bowden. Bowden, number 17, on the feed from Robinson. But last year went 4. Saginaw beat Nimitz 3-1 in non-district. They'll insert Justice Vega, number 7. And Vega in to serve, and they will pull Bailey Morrow, number 8. So here's Vega. Saginaw last year in District 5, 5A went 5-9. Overall, a 19-21 record. Taken on by McGee. Pushed up high for Robinson. And the point, as you see, head coach Gina Calkins, 11 years. It's Saginaw, 7-6 the count. Riley Rodriguez. Who wants it? Number 9, Turner. Turner goes cross court. No touch, 8-6.
Biggest lead twice now. Lady Vikings have been up by 2.
See the trajectory of the ball from Rodriguez, and before that the whistle, and they're out of rotation. Rough Riders out of rotation, and the point to Nimitz. It is 9-6.
You don't see that call very often, do you? I haven't.
The adjustment was made a little bit late. Robinson may have been out, number 14. Rodriguez, and off the fingertips of Vega, number 7, and a 4-point cushion for the Lady Vikes at 10-6. Timeout, Saginaw. Our first timeout taken by the Rough Riders, trailing by 4.
You talk about the point spread and the fact that Nimitz with the biggest lead of the ball game at 10-6. This is how we score things. It's rally scoring. Best 3 of 5. Must win by 2 points. First 4 games played to 25, and then that 5th game is played to 15 points.
Saginaw opened up the year defeating Arlington Seguin in 3. And Coach Engeldinger and year number 7, Benavides and Box are her really good hitters this year through the first 12 or so matches. Number 14 on a return, Haley Robinson. No touch. She misses, and the lead now at 5.
You may see the fact that it gets dark on the court a time or two. We've got some lights up there that are flickering in and out.
Quick recovery by Lazinski, number 15. In the middle, up and down, and Briella Box, number 3, the junior, makes it 12-6.
Oh, that's a nice setup. Watch right there, the setup by Morado, and then the slam and the point.
Yeah, here's a little special delivery for you.
Yeah.
Riley Rodriguez, nice hard serve, rushing to save it is Lancaster. And what, we have a double hit? Yep. 2 hits. It is 13-6. So the Lady Vikes with a little daylight now. Riley Rodriguez, senior. Taken down the line by Turner. Here's Turner to the ball and just gets it over number 3, Box. Right back, number 17, Kaylin Bowden. Plays like she's 6 feet, listed at 5'7" and a junior, and a real pound down, 13-7.
Look, coming right at you, right at Jones, and Jones is like, oh, I was too close, not in the right position.
Bowden serving, nice clean serve, spins off of Jones, tracked down deep by Orozco. Teed up by Vega, and to the ball, number 14, Haley Robinson. It is 14-7.
That's one of those missed opportunities for the Rough Riders. Boy, they had that set up perfectly. She just could not keep the ball in bounds.
Brianne Miles on the front row, number 15, a senior. Taken by Lazinski. On the move, number 10, Ariana Galvan, a 5'7" senior.
Well, the girls in Saginaw believed that it went off the fingertips of the Lady Vikings and wanted to point. Let's see.
May have.
Might have happened.
Bent that index finger back a little bit. Lead at 8 at 15-7. Outside to Robinson. Up high, no way to run this one down as it goes over the Nimitz bench. 15-8. Substitution Saginaw, number 2, Victoria Quintanilla into serve.
Talking about the fingertip touch reminded me of the Rangers game about a week or so ago. They were at home and the team they were playing questioned a call, and you can see the fingers moving back.
I thought you were going to say the old 5-finger discount.
Yeah.
Service error in the net. So you got the last point and you give it right back up on a service error. 16-8. Natasha McGee. And back to back. Never up. 16-9. Number 8 back in. Bailey Morrow, their tallest player, at 5'10". Well, Puente also at 5'10". 16-9. That one whizzed over, taken by Benavides. And nicely done by Box just to get it across. Box with a block, but number 10, Galvan, got all of it. 16-10. Nice Orozco move, and here's Box. Up, down.
Not even fair, is it?
Look at the height. That's a floor burn.
Not only a nice spike, but one with authority and to a spot to where no one had a chance to return it.
A floor polisher. Paloma Orozco serving 17-10 off the shoulder of Galvan. Here's Galvan, number 10, and Galvan from the outside with a punishing return. Makes it 17-11.
Just when you think one side is going to really make a move, although Nimitz did have that one little streak, both teams kind of just back and forth.
Good opening game. 17-12, a double hit.
I would be surprised if any game was lopsided the way they, at least the way they've started out. I think we're in for close games throughout.
Haley Lancaster off of Benavides. Underneath the net is Stephanie Morado, 17-13.
Well, they've cut it to 4. They were down by 7 at one time.
A spinner tracked down by Morado, blocked briefly. Right back to Nimitz. That was a nice block by Puente at the net, number 3. They pass Puente and give it to Bowden. She got the feed and the points. And the difference now at 3 points.
Yeah, you thought they were going to go to Puente. Instead, they mixed it up, and a nice slam by Kaylin there.
Haley Lancaster. In the middle, Morado. Outside to Miles. Number 15, Brianne Miles, 18-14.
Seen Brianne do that a couple of times here in the first match.
We have the coach's corner, as you so aptly put it, behind us. 3 of the Nimitz coaches on hand, basketball, football. Lancaster able to clear it. Pushed across by number 7, Morado. She almost held it too long, but it'll count as 19-14.
Very nice.
Keontae Jones goes deep, pushed up by Bowden. Outside to number 9, or number 3 rather, that's Puente. 19-15, and Puente will serve as they pull Quintanilla, number 2, and at the net, number 14, Haley Robinson. It'll be Benavides. And the combo block. Robinson and Morrow.
That front line for the Rough Riders. Look at that. You just can't get past two sets of arms, right?
That's a combo special. That's a little bit long as Orozco let it go. Nice decision, 20-16. Big point coming up here at 20-16. It'll be Tatiana Benavides to serve.
Man, they have Haley Robinson listed as 5'9". There's no way.
Yeah,
14 for Saginaw.
I know, I looked at that earlier. Oh, going one-handed, trying to surprise is Morado. Saginaw responding nicely. Up is Robinson again. 20-17.
Yeah, you're looking right there at number 14. Haley Robinson, the junior, lists her at 5'9", but I don't think so. Boy, between Robinson and Bowden, you've got some bookends up front that it's hard to get over their hands.
I think you'd start at 5'10" with their height.
Yeah, they got to be in the six feet range.
McGee on the outside and didn't get it. Net contact, 20-18. So the Rough Riders slowly coming back with Justice Vega serving. Just clears it. Nice dive by Orozco. And the return was not touched. It was long. 20-19, timeout Nimitz.
4 unanswered points by the Rough Riders. Now down to just 1 point shy of tying this thing up. You go to 25, you got to win by 2. And it's a good timeout for Coach E to get her girls back in line and straightened out.
Saginaw in that tough district with Boswell and Wichita Falls Rider and Denton. Boswell won the district last year. Won it by a couple of games over Wichita Falls Rider.
Boswell, Denton, Azle, your 4 teams. And Saginaw, hard to believe, but they have 2 schools in that city. Saginaw is part of the Eagle Mountain Saginaw School District. They opened in 2005. So these have been around 10 years.
Back to play and a chance for Saginaw to make a new game of it. McGee on the outside. And played up high by Robinson. In the middle, pushed across by Rodriguez. It'll be Bowden. And Bowden over Morado. And we start over at 20. This is a nice 9-3 run by the Rough Riders here in the opening game. Spun off, played on the line by McGee and in the net, and a lead change here. 21-20.
I'm trying to look back to see when is the last time they led. They led 1-0 to start the game. And they tied it at 5, tied it at 6. They haven't had the lead since.
And Vega now gives Nimitz a chance to take the lead with that service error. It'll be Riley Rodriguez. And she puts it airborne. Off of Lancaster. Run down by Vega. Back in the middle of the court. Short set. And that's box. And another lead change.
That's your go-to girl right there. Number 3, Briella Box, the junior. Great extension. He gets it over the outstretched arms of Robinson.
Rodriguez going to scoot over a little more in the cross-court serve. Tipped at the net as Bowden gets a piece of it. To McGee. That's underneath. That's a lift. 23-21. or 22-22. Yeah, the tie. Well, let's see. They've taken the point away.
Where's it going?
They've given it to Nimitz, so they lead by 2.
You were right the first time. 23-21.
On the line. Back in the middle. Off the net. And back to a 1-point contest. It'll be Bowden to serve.
Galvan back in for the Rough Riders. The libero, Lancaster out.
Bowden goes to Jones. Now they scatter, get in position, pushed over by Nickel. Last attempt coming, it's high, it comes down to Galvan. Two-handed across by Morado. 23-22 Nimitz. At the net. Galvan. And she line drives it a little long. And Nimitz in position to take this opening game. It'll be number 7, Stephanie Morado, before she serves. A quick timeout taken by Saginaw.
Well, obviously, Coach Calkins of Saginaw, there in the middle of your screen in the red, the head coach has said, look, we're pretty, this is going to be a tight game, a tight match, and we don't want to concede the first game. So she's probably going to reposition maybe a couple of their players defensively to try to turn the tide. Let's watch the last point again, the setup. A finesse has kind of been the thing for the Lady Vikings in this first set. It worked there. It got it to the point to where the Rough Riders couldn't get it over the trees up front against Nimitz, and it went long on the play. But except for box and a lot of her spikes, you see a lot of finesse moves by the Lady Vikings up front on the front line.
Okay, game point. Stephanie Morado to serve. First objective, get it across, and she does. Taken by Lancaster. Outside of number 14, Robinson. And cleared in the middle by Morado. And that one will stay long. The return by Lancaster, and Nimitz takes the opening game 25-22. 47 points in this opening game as the two teams will change sides. We step aside. You're watching District 9 6A volleyball from Nimitz on ICTN. John Nelson back with Rob Willman at Irving Nimitz High School. Game 2 in this best of 5. Nimitz winning the opening contest 25-22. They're on the right. They will serve first. It'll be Paloma Orozco to put it up. Irving, Nimitz, Mack, and Skyline, your 4 playoff teams last year from 9-6A. Conroe, the Woodlands, the defending state champions in Class 6A. There's a whistle, and we are set as Orozco goes to the middle of a hard serve off of the libero Lancaster. Lancaster clears it deep. Short set by Morado. Rolling over, the save on the outside by Turner. Pump fake, and they'll try to give it to Miles, number 15. Now they go with the Benavides. Nimitz a little crowded out, and to the ball is Morado. Good end-to-end action here to begin game 2, and just in front of a diving Orozco, and Saginaw takes the first point.
Boy, that was a hard-fought point. Both sides doing some nice hustle and keeping the ball in play.
Haley Lancaster, she of the jump serve. The jump serve can really fire up and intimidate your opposition. In the middle. And it goes 1-all.
Lady Vikings with an answer. Watch the middle of your screen. And Rodriguez, number 6, with the spike.
Miles comes out. Keontae Jones to serve. She goes deep off of Lancaster. To the ball, Robinson. Benavides. To Bowden. Denied by Rodriguez. The set by Murado. Number 6, Rodriguez again. And Saginaw able to stave off the point. Again on a knee, it was Turner. And on the side as it goes out of bounds, point Nimitz.
Man, at first I was going to say how disheartening for the Lady Vikings. Every time you thought they had the kill, there was Saginaw to save it, but not this time.
That's a nice knee save by Sierra Turner. There's another save by Robinson, and that's underneath. 3-1. That's exactly how game 1 started.
In order, too, scoring-wise.
Jones goes down the line. That's Lazinski, or Robinson, rather. And that one just away from Jones. Nice hard return by Bowden. It's 3-2.
She's pretty accurate. You know, they don't leave her in there the whole time, you know, when she's in the front row, but when she gets through rotating, they usually bring her out.
Watching the warm-up, she has the best arm swing. Hannah Lazinski back in. And that one right over the head of Turner. Point Saginaw. We're tied at 3. Bowden on a return, and Bowden over Rodriguez and in front of Orozco. 4-3 Rough Riders.
Well, Bowden proving that she can do more than just spike it. With a little finesse move there, Lady Vikings weren't expecting it.
Hannah Lazinski as Coach Calkins making a sub.
Well, the officials are going over the rotation and the subs right now.
Lazinski will look over at the clipboard of Coach Calkins right before she serves to see what area she wants to try to place it. As it stands now, they've given Nimitz. It's 4-3 Saginaw. Now it goes 5-3. And we'll see if the Rough Riders in the correct rotation will serve. Back-to-back playoff appearances for the Rough Riders back in 2012 and 13. Lost in by-district in both of those years. So the score's 4-3 Rough Riders. That's the way it started before the serve. And Lazinski back to play. A little flat-footed. 5-3.
Communication breakdown, perhaps?
I would think so. It got away from both of them. Nice hard serve and a ricochet off of Jones, then off of the shoulder of Orozco, the ace. It is 6-3, timeouts. Nimitz.
We drove up here at the start of this game. Everyone was picking up their class schedule and everything, and man, the parking lot was just packed. By the time this game airs on ICTN, the season's about to start, and that means high school football right around the corner. Garland Lakeview, the Patriots, against our Irving Tigers, will be the first game of the high school season of 2015. I can't remember Lakeview coming by ICTN or Irving doing a game with Lakeview, maybe a few years back, but it'll be entertaining.
Tigers return some players at the playmaker positions this year. Off the net, 7-3. Hannah Lazinski. As you see the lineup in the Lady Vikings positioning, that one in front of Jones as it ricocheted off of Natasha McGee. 8-3.
Biggest lead Saginaw has had in this match. Going back to the start of this confrontation.
Nimitz did have a winning record at home last year. The return by Benavides is long, 9-3. Nimitz at home last year had a record of 11-5. Not that time, number 6, Riley Rodriguez, splitting the defenders, 9-4.
Perfect setup, just over the outstretched arms of Puente. Found the opening and stopped that momentum.
Tatiana Benavides to serve. And off the fingertips of Bowden and the ace. Bowden got in front of it, and that was about it. 9-5. Lady Vikes winning the opening game, 25-22. And before the serve, Saginaw out of rotation.
Second time tonight we've seen that.
I believe the misplacement by Martel, number 8. As Coach Calkins given the explanation by the down official. It'll be 9-6 on that call. So Nimitz now down by 3.
Saginaw in Class 5A. Last year's state champs Lovejoy went 38-10. Picked by many to return to Austin in the Final Four. Again this year loaded with talent. Lovejoy just north of the Rockwall area. Just a farming community.
Tatiana Benavides serving. And that one over Lancaster as she let it go. 10-6. Substitutions for the Rough Riders. Vega and Nickel in. Justice Vega, the setter at 5'5" and a senior to serve. 10-6. Up high off of Jones. Settling under it is Morado. One last attempt cleared by McGee. And that might have been some net contact. Yep. Touching the net was a Vega point. Nimitz, 10-7.
And the libero for Saginaw, Haley Lancaster, seems to be everywhere. But watch it again. Runs into the net. Point Lady Vikings.
Riley Rodriguez serving. 10-7. Off the net, in play in the ace. About 10 years ago, they would have had to reserve that one, but not anymore. In front of Puente in the ace, 10-8. That net is almost 7 feet 5 inches above the floor. Reverse set by Vega. And Bowden finishes it off. 11-8. Kaylin Bowden, 5'7", and a junior. Her team leading by 3. Set by Morado. Right back. Puente over box, 12-8.
Little floater back and forth. Watch box. Thought she just floated over, and right in her face, there was Lauren Puente.
To the corner. 12-9. Missing by about a half a foot. In the corner, Brianne Miles in the middle, a senior. Nimitz down by 3. Two hits, 12-10. Stephanie Morado serving for Nimitz. Throws it up, clean serve, goes middle deep to Lazimski. Outside, Taisha Gray in, number 12 for the Lady Vikings. There's Brie, a box. 12-11 is the count, and a chance for Nimitz to tie it up and perhaps take the lead again. Puente, quick to the ball.
Wait, let's go back.
Want to try to insert Haley Robinson, and they do, number 14.
13-11, that was going to be Saginaw's point.
Bailey Mortal serving. Set by Morado. Cross court. And they're claiming a touch. Nimitz thought they may have touched it.
Didn't get the call.
14-11. Run down in the corner by Gray. Off of Lancaster underneath the net. 14-12. Subs for both teams. Benavides back in for Nimitz, number 17. It'll be Natasha McGee to throw it up. Tosses it up high, gets a clean serve to Lancaster. Off of Lancaster, and Nimitz to within a point.
Well, just when you thought momentum was going to ruin the Lady Vikings in game 2, they've pulled it together and come back.
Little short. Not enough clearance. 15-13. Bailey Morrow. And joined by Turner.
We had an idea all these games would be close. They haven't let us down at all.
Sierra Turner to serve for the Rough Riders. My serve taken on an E by McGee. In the middle is box number 3. 15-14. Riley Rodriguez back in, number 6.
Box with the extension and then not hitting it where the defenders were at, going against him.
Orozco taken by Quintanilla. Up high in the net. A net call. Point Nimitz. Tied at 15. Orozco on a knee. Last attempt coming and cleared by Lancaster. Guides it over two-handed style to Benavides. And Benavides off of one, off of two, as it went off of Morrow and Robinson. 16-15. And a timeout taken by Saginaw as the Lady Vikes have come back, having trailed 13-11, then 14-11.
Nice point where they faked to go to the middle and then they go to the wing, and Benavides was there, and both the defenders just had no room, nowhere to go. As you take a look at Coach Calkins, she's a coordinator, an athletic coordinator now for her campus. She was also teaching biology. She was teaching AP biology, and everyone knows that anything with it has to do with an AP class is rather intense. She was telling me that after her coaching, she'd come home and she'd have to grade papers all night. She goes, now she's still out late at night coaching, but when she comes home, she doesn't have to grade papers, and it's quite a relief, she said.
There was AP, then the Army had KP. Quite a difference.
But
A little bit difference. Okay, Nimitz leading by 1. Paloma Orozco goes deep, and over the head, letting it go, is Quintanilla. 16 all. And Haley Lancaster, little 5'3" junior, and the jump serve. Nice serve it is, taken by McGee. Benavides off the top of the net and in front of Robinson with a point. 17-16 Lady Vikes. They'll insert Jones.
sometimes you have to be a little lucky, and that time the net helped the Lady Vikings.
Off the top of the tape, Keontae Jones serving. Goes down the line, taken by Robinson. Outside to Bowden. Tipped, and yeah, it was tipped. Robinson out. 17 all. Hannah Lisinski to serve. Saginaw won a JV game earlier tonight in 2. Right in the middle of the net, point Nimitz. That helps, 18-17. Tatiana Benavides serving for the Lady Vikes, and she does the same thing. Giveth and taketh away.
6th time now in this game. It's been tied up.
Bailey Morrow out. Justice Vega rushing in to serve. So here's Vega as you get a floor level look. Now up high. She goes deep, taken on the line by Orozco, and a return. And now the 19-18 count. So a 1-point lead now for the Rough Riders. Right in the middle, one-on-one. And a nice tip by Murado. There she is again, two-handed and down. A two-handed push down by Murado on the outside.
7th time this game is tied, and this is all Murado's point. First time defensively, and then you see the tail end of the point right there. When it gets into the 20s, that's when you start really getting tight, because you know you're getting close.
Service error. Riley Rodriguez, 20-19. Saginaw back on top. Kaylin Bowden. And Bowden gives up the point. Can't stand prosperity here.
No. Both sides having a hard time with the serve.
Here's Murado. Bounces it 4 times. Throws it up. Good serve. Taken by Lisinski. On the outside, made the contact with a padding. 21-20. Timeout. Nimitz, as Joy wants to gather her troops together. And
well, it's that little window, as we talked about. When you get down to 20, especially with both sides tied, and you get in the 20s, you're only just a few points away from either pulling one out victoriously or falling in a game. And the Lady Vikings can really put the screws to Saginaw if they can win this one and be up 2-0 in this best of 5 here at Nimitz High School. As you take a look at some of the Saginaw players.
Now they lost their last 2 games in that Eagle Mountain tournament to Fort Worth Christian and Chisholm Trail. Nimitz played, they beat Trimble Tech, Grand Prairie, and Haltom. A lot of games. There were 22 teams in that Eagle Mountain tournament. Cleburne was there. Good talent up and down in that tournament. And Lauren Puente, number 3, to serve for Saginaw.
Lady Vikings playing 4 deep.
Off and back, that's 2 hits. That went off of Taisha Gray, 22-20. So here's Puente again. Taken by Orozco. Outside they go to McGee. Up high and
2 hands. Yep.
A lift, 22-21.
Much needed point for the Lady Vikings right there.
Natasha McGee. Down by a point to Lancaster. Had to make a quick adjustment. Lancaster clears it. Played deep by Orozco. And box up high.
It's like an alley-oop slam in basketball. If you can get some elevation to Brianne or to Briala, then she's going to have the opportunity to kill with the slam, and she did.
Lancaster right in the middle to Vega, and she turned, and there's a
hit the net.
2 hits.
Yeah.
23-22 Lady Vikes. The whistle, the McGee serve. Off of Bowden, back to Bowden. Cross court and misses by a foot and a half. 24-23 Nimitz, game point. Number 1, Natasha McGee. And before she can put it up, a timeout taken by Saginaw.
Well, Gina did the same thing the last game, remember? It was the game-winning point. It was 24-22. The exact same score it is right now, where she called that time to try to rally the troops before the game-winning point. Her first high school job, Calkins, was back in Houston at Westside. She had coached in college in one way or the other for 10 years before taking that job at the high school, then decided to move up here.
Natasha McGee serving game point. Down the line. Up high is Gallivan. In the middle is Robinson. Last attempt, right back. Number 14 denies the point. Haley Robinson. 24-23.
That was a nice defensive play, and it turned into a nice offensive play. They had both players in position that time.
Sierra Turner.
Not much Miles could do.
Drops it over the net in front of McGee with the all-out dive, just trying to keep it above the floor.
And remember, you have to win by 2.
24 all. Saginaw coming back here in game 2. Sierra Turner. She'll be back next year. Goes to that same spot. Run down, last attempt, and cleared high by Murado. At the net. Tipped. They scatter. Miles. Number 15 on the outside, and Miles drops it over Galvan and Robinson. 25-24.
And that whole exchange just in, you would have thought that the Vikings didn't have a chance to set up offensively and get a point. Miles was there.
So here's Orozco serving game point for the second occasion. On the outside, down, right back, fisted over nicely by Miles. Miles up high with a block. Pushed across, played deep on the line by Orozco. Benavides saved by Turner. And they let it go as it misses off of Murado.
Boy, it's been a great game. He had Benavides set up perfectly with a slam. Rough Riders were there to keep it in play, and then they end up getting the point.
Volleyball being the rebound sport that it is, you saw it firsthand. To Benavides, through the block, and the rollover dive by Lancaster. At the net, off of Robinson. Bowden from the outside, and the return is right on the line. Man, that's close. As she sticks it, 26-25. Nimitz on top.
Watch it again.
Man, that was close.
He was right on it.
26-25. Keontae Jones serving. Up high, Turner. Lancaster, short feed. They wanted to give it to Bowden, and a block. She lets it go, and it misses. Point, Saginaw. That's our 52nd point here of the match, or of this game. It'll be number 14, Haley Robinson, to serve. Nimitz winning the first game by 3. Tipped off of the libero Lancaster, 27-26 Nimitz.
Boy, I thought Morrow had saved that for the Rough Riders. one of those just stuck her arm out in defense and kept it in play.
Tatiana Benavides serving. To Bowden. Benavides pushes it up high. Underneath it is Morado. Outside is McGee. And McGee goes cross court. Unable to get it to go. 27 all. Not going to have much left here for the third game. Justice Vega in. Has to run it down in the corner. So here's Vega. Off of McGee, and that one misses outside, and now game point Saginaw. (28-27). Vega serving. Goes to Orozco. The short set in the middle. Run down by Robinson. And the last attempt, it's a good one, back in the middle. Over Morado, off the shoulder of Gray. They feed McGee. Up high is Vega. Outside of Bowden. Off of Gray.
Oh, what a save.
Gray keeps it alive. Tipped. Pushed over. Morado trying to surprise Saginaw. 28-27, Rough Riders. Backing out is Robinson. Bowden. And Bowden misses. No touch. Missed it long. 28 all.
These teams are playing like this could go on a while.
Briella Box back in the middle, number 3.
Gray with a nice dig. That last exchange to save that one slam.
Wiley Rodriguez off the shoulder, run down by Bowden. One off of Robinson. Box in the middle. And falling away from Bowden, 29-28.
Well, if you're the Lady Vikings, that's what you need to do. You got to go to box in the middle. She's almost money every time if given the opportunity to extend and slam it.
Riley Rodriguez, about 8 feet off the service line. Almost underneath was Vega, almost made a foot foul. Number 7 with a reverse one-hander, Morado.
Wow.
30-28, Nimitz captures game 2. They lead 2-0 as both teams change sides.
Watch the last point again. The setup, you thought they were going to go to box, but instead she very surprisingly went with the left hand and just swooshed it over the net. And Morado with the game winner. And now here we are with the Lady Vikings with the advantage, 2-0.
And back with the opening serve of game 3 on ICTN right after this.
Well, as we prepare for the third game tonight, let's go ahead and thank our sponsor for the ICTN Game of the Week, and that is our Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning business. We appreciate them, the charter sponsor of the ICTN Game of the Week. Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning. Been with us since the beginning, back in the 80s. And we appreciate the Stavely family and their business for supporting the ICTN Game of the Week. Boy, what a game, number 2. There were 12 ties in that game, and the typical ebb and flow where you thought one team was going to run away with it, John, and then the other comes right back, and Nimitz comes out victorious. So now here you got a point to where, you know, does the visitors from Saginaw just kind of roll over? Here we are down by 2.
Right.
Or is it all of a sudden they get a sense of urgency knowing that lose any more and you're done, and so you really tweak it up a notch.
We've had 105 points here in the first 2 games, and Sierra Turner with Saginaw serving on the right to get it underway here in game 3. And Turner drops to a knee with a save. Pushed across by Quintanilla. On the outside, that was Miles, Brianne Miles. And the first point of game 3 goes to the Rough Riders.
Every game
start.
Yeah.
Carbon copy. You would think this is a district game. School hasn't started yet, but a pretty good student body turnout across the way. Volleyball being the first sport to get everything underway in the school year. And I know the girls appreciate a good turnout on a non-school night. Haley Robinson with a denial in the middle.
Well, there's the first time that Box has had a shot come right back at her.
Sierra Turner looks over at head coach Calkins. Goes to Orozco. To Benavides. And the last attempt by Morrow just outside the antenna. Miles as it crawled off the shoulder of Robinson. Brianne Miles. 2-1, first point for the Lady Vikes in game 3.
Miles has had a few points tonight. There's one of them right there.
I mean, that was a good shot as you saw the split. Outside, they feed Morrow. Pushed across to Benavides. And Robinson together with Morrow slammed the door.
Well, Morrow has come out strong here. And also Robinson. Robinson's really come out strong here in the third game.
Haley Lancaster for the jump serve. Played by McGee. One-handed across by Miles. Over to Bowden. And Bowden up and down. And the pound down. 4-1.
The setup, good extension, right down the line.
Haley Lancaster didn't get all of it. 4-2. Deontay Jones to put it up.
I think the Lady Rough Riders answering our questions about how intense they will be to start this third game.
Scoots over to the far side. To Bowden. Bowden. And the return was good. 5-2. They'll insert Puente at the net. Robinson comes out. Number 15 to serve, Hannah Lisinski. 5 serving 2.
That's good news for the Lady Viking fans to get Robinson out.
And where'd that end up? Funny ricochet. Blocked. That was off of Rodriguez. And the Rough Riders come right back and now lead by 4.
Well, they didn't lose anything at the net with Robinson being inside or on the bench, did they?
Not much at all. Lisinski and missed that one.
Right now, the only thing Saginaw not able to do in game 3 is serve. Boy, they've been able to play very well at the net.
Tatiana Benavides to serve. And trying to make the adjustment as Puente. She does as they let it go up and down. 7-3.
Ended up working out better for Saginaw than it did the Lady Vikings.
Sure did. Number 5. Britton Nickel. In. Number 7 to serve, Justice Vega. Turning, right back off of Lancaster. That's how the previous game ended. Stephanie Morado in the middle. A little twister. 7-4.
Nimitz has done a lot of that at the net.
Riley Rodriguez. Off of Lisinski. Point Nimitz, 7-5. Lady Vikes trail by 2. Won the first game 25-22. A hard-fought 30-28 second game. Vega with the reverse set. Bowden from the outside. 8-5 Saginaw. Out of District 5, 5A.
Box with the outstretched arms, number 3. She just couldn't get over in time.
Kaylin Bowden serving. To McGee. Number 10 slaps it across Galvan. 9-5.
Similar situation, almost in the exact spot before. Here on the near side attack.
Kaylin Bowden. Good serve off of Jones, and no way to keep that above the floor. 10-5.
We talked about would Saginaw be just as intense to start this third game. Well, maybe the Lady Vikings aren't as intense, knowing they're up by 2.
Off of Taisha Gray in the middle of the box. That's Bowden with a save, and then a whistle. And the 2 hits, 10-6.
Coach Calkins, you see there on your screen.
Brianne Miles back in on the front row for Nimitz. Morado to put it up. Puente going Puente with an adjustment as she was gliding towards the net.
Yeah, I think it surprised the Lady Vikings. They were moving up one way, and she just finessed it to the other side.
See if they give it to Box. They bypass her, give it to Miles. Last attempt steered over by Vega. Short set to Box.
Box is pretty much unstoppable in the middle. I can only remember one that they actually was able to block back inside to the Nimitz end.
Natasha McGee serving. 11-7, Saginaw leading. Nimitz leading 2-0. Up high off of Orozco. Benavides to Lancaster. She cuts it off. Right back up as Miles in the contact. Net violation. 12-7. Little height now. Bailey Mortal at 5'10", and Sierra Turner.
Watch Miles. Goes over the net, hits the net, breaks the plane, does all of the above.
So Turner serving. Her team leading by 5. Box, and off of Robinson, number 14 in the middle. 12-8.
Hate to see Box set down.
Kind of do.
Big smile on her face. Why not? She's having a good game.
Roscoe with a good serve. Underneath the net as it went off of Vega. 12-9. To Miles. Miles as it drops down. They have yet to put that last point up for Nimitz. Now they do.
It's 10-12, isn't it?
And they need to add another one.
It should be.
Yeah, it is.
There it is.
12-10 the count. Nimitz serving Paloma Orozco. And that one over the head of Quintanilla. And what we have here, Rob, is the radio frequency score, 13-10. Haley Lancaster. She backs up right underneath the basketball goal. Off the shoulder of Benavides. 14-10. Whose call letters are those?
Yeah.
One of those small town
little small town station.
AMers.
Right? Yeah, they had to move to the FM dial.
A knuckler, nice serve with no rotation to Benavides. Off the shoulder of Turner. Here's Turner on the return. Up high, straight down for Miles. And she went to the corner and got it to fall.
She's had a good game, too, playing that outside near the net. The question is, John, we haven't seen the Lady Vikings on a run like we did the first 2 games.
Have not. Trailing now by 3. Robinson one-hand push. Haley Robinson down the line, 15-11. Couple of subs for the Rough Riders. One of them on the front row, Lauren Puente. Hannah Lozinski to serve. Leading by 4. Goes to Orozco. In the middle, Riley Rodriguez. 15-12.
Rodriguez off the hands and the fingertips of Puente.
Benavides got a piece of the net. It just deflected off the top of the net, and getting there a little late was Lancaster. Not much you can do, though.
No, she got that one right in the kisser.
15-13. And that one is pulled. 16-13 point Saginaw.
I propose a rule change, John. I think we should be able to substitute like they do in hockey, on the fly.
5 at a time?
Why not?
I mean, a different line?
Why not? Don't stop, just change on the fly.
Boy, you could have 10 on 10 underneath the net there.
Be fun.
Right on top. Last attempt, Bowden off of Orozco, right back into the Rough Rider end. Number 5, Nickel, 17-13.
Lady Vikings yet to lead in this game, in game 3. And maybe Coach E is sensing things are getting away from them a little bit, down by 4. Getting close again to that magical 20-point mark.
So you would have no break at all. You would have 5 getting ready to insert 5 at a time.
Yep. You just have to tag each other like in wrestling. You know, the tag team. Just tag your teammate, and then you're good to go back inside.
There's some volleyball spirit across the way.
Football team, some of the players out of practice. They're over in the corner.
You'd have to expand the roster, though. You would have to have 5 getting ready for the next 5. Well, we'll submit that to the UIL in Austin and see.
Sure, why not?
17-13 the score here in game 3. Saginaw leading.
Some of the fans and students in attendance.
Okay. Justice Vega, and Vega comes up short.
You know, take away the serving. Saginaw's done a much better job in the 3rd game.
At least
overall.
8 service errors. Riley Rodriguez. To Bowden. 2-hands it. Over to McGee. Waiting for it is Bowden. Here she is on the outside. And misses. Bowden right into the middle of the net. Now see if this is the impetus that the Lady Vikes need. 17-15. Rodriguez going to scoot over about 4 feet to her left. Launches it. And a whistle. 2 hits. A double hit. And what that does is make it a 1-point game. It's 17-16, and Nimitz now with a chance to tie it up. Lancaster clears it. Got to it first, and another whistle. Another double hit. This time against Nimitz, it's 18-16. Kaylin Bowden, she's ready. Good serve off of Gray. And that one to McGee and never got in position to get clearance. 19-16. Bowden. Man, what a serve off of Jones in the ace. 20-16.
Maybe that was a serve that the Rough Riders needed. They've been pretty resilient here in game 3.
Well, it looks like we're going to go to 4. Leading by 4. Bowden, same spot. Who wants it? To the ball first, Morado. Two hit or 4 touches. That was a 4th touch. 20-17. Allowed 3 touches. Stephanie Morado. Off the fingertips of Galvan. Back to Galvan. And blocked. Was it above? Did it hit the antenna?
It's going to be Boswell's. Yeah, hit the side. It's going to be Saginaw's
21-17.
Let's see if we can see it hit the antenna.
Yep. No doubt. Lauren Puente serving. 4 points away from a win here in game 3. They push it over to Miles. And there is Robinson and her teammate Nickel. 22-17. Timeout. Nimitz. And just the kind of game 3 that Saginaw needed to get back into the match.
Yeah, they got out to a 4-1 lead. They've never trailed in this game. Nimitz has come close. They've come close as 1 point on a couple of occasions to tying it up, but other than that, it's been pretty much a dominant 3rd game by Saginaw.
Let's see, 144 points now. You know me, I'm a numbers guy. I got to get.
Are you a numbers cruncher?
All these arithmetic longhand numbers all counted up.
Well, before you know it, it's going to be football season. We talked about our season opener next week on ICTN with the Irving Tigers playing host. Well, Nimitz, we'll have them in a few weeks hosting the Buffaloes from Haltom. Talked to Coach Rogers a little bit before the game. He said, give me a few weeks to get my guys in shape and ready to play. And when I say shape, I don't mean they're out of shape, but just, you know, everybody on the same page. He goes, he said, I hope we're good toward the end of the season.
Yeah, that would be nice. Keep it going and putting it all together the last 5 weeks of the season. Galvan. Not yet, says Nimitz. Last attempt, Galvan. Push it across to McGee. Right back to McGee, off the net, 23-17. Yeah, we're going to go 4. Lauren Puente.
It would be a huge meltdown if Saginaw does not win this one.
Oh, just a little long as it whizzed by Gray, number 12.
Sometimes it's a chance you have to take like that.
Yeah, that's true.
The Vikings did it. Also, Benavides now back in. So they've got both Benavides and Box on the front line for the Lady Vikings. So this is their offense right here.
Steered over by Nickel. Block. They reset. Nickel with a softie. Number 5 just got enough of it. Dropped it over the front row. 24-18.
Change of pace. Just as deadly as the spike. Look at that. Timed it perfectly. The floater over Box and Benavides.
The dink. Sierra Turner looks over towards the bench, goes cross court. Tatiana right there in position, Galvan. tracked down at the net by Morado. Up high to Galvan, and Galvan off the block, and the points, and the game 25-24 as Saginaw captures game 3. 25-18 the final numbers.
Watch the last play. Goes out of bounds. Heads-up play that time on the line by Galvan to let that one go over her head and out of bounds. And for the Saginaw team, they proved that they can finish a run. And really, it's just the point that they started off so strong. And Lady Vikings dug themselves in a hole, and they just couldn't get out of it.
We change. We'll go to game 4 here at Nimitz High, our ICTN Game of the Week. John Nelson back with Rob Willman as we go to game 4 here at Nimitz. There's the numbers so far. It'll be Saginaw on the left. And for Nimitz, the same starters that began game 1. We've seen it all.
Yep.
Service errors. We've seen double hits. We've seen nice rallies.
We've seen players out of position where they lose a point.
Some scoring controversy.
Coach E told me that, they played in those games they played in the Saginaw tournament. She said a lot of those games were very tight. We're in the 20s, 25-20, 25-21, and gave the girls a lot of opportunity to play, and we're seeing that again tonight.
Some of the tournament games are the best of 3, and there is a cutoff point as far as points.
This one, if it goes game 5, will only go to 15.
Right. Nimitz, they had a winning record in non-district last year. They were 11-10 in non-district play. We're underway in game 4, and quick to the ball was Orozco with a save. Pushed across deep. Orozco again rolls over, saves it. Here's Benavides, and blocked by number 14, Haley Robinson.
And for the 4th straight game, Saginaw scores the first point.
Why would it be any different? Haley Lancaster.
Wasn't a lot of room for Benavides to try to slam that one.
Short, and an easy point for the Lady Vikes. Jones in, Miles out. Up high off of Robinson. Robinson again. Was it touched? Went cross court.
Nope.
2-1. In the middle, two-handed style, Morrow. Bowden and a whistle before the 2 hits. 2 hits, 3-1.
I would think that there's somewhat of a little pressure on the Lady Vikings to try to end this one out here in the 4th game.
Bowden blocked briefly and out of bounds as it went off of Rodriguez, 3-2. Then they'll bring in number 15, Hannah Lazinski, to serve. Number 3 also, Lauren Puente. She goes outside, front row. Off of McGee has the first one off of Jones. 3-all.
Well, it didn't take Saginaw long to equalize, did it?
Not much, maybe 30 seconds. Well, Jones was kind of backing away, then made a late adjustment, couldn't get to the ball, 4-3. That's a good serve, a knuckler. Benavides.
Used her hand.
A lift.
Yep.
5-3. Rough Riders.
You know, Coach E moved her libero over to that far corner. Worked well that last series, except for the mistake.
Saginaw on the left. A spinner tracked down by Morano. Up high, and there is Bowden. Benavides. And drops it off in front of Turner and Bowden. 5-4. Both outside hitters. We're number 17 in this game.
Benavides just got that one over.
Good power serve off of Lancaster. Up high to Bowden. And Bowden with a bullet, but it's long. 5-all.
Benavides had that brace on when the game started?
That's a good question. I don't think she did. Tomorrow. McGee with a nice adjustment. Ooh, a low set in the middle and off the top. And a block as well as it went off of Puente, 6-5. I don't think she did, Rob, as she goes to the bench.
You know, Saginaw bit by the injury bug. They started off with 2 players hurt when the season started. They just got one of them back, and the same day they got her back, one of her top players in the middle injured her knee.
Madison Hand is out for Saginaw. Off the floor in front of Jones and Orozco. 7-5, Rough Riders. And the pill given to Justice Vega. Good serve at the net. Morano. And to the ball, Rodriguez. 7-6. In comes Rayela Box.
Instead of going straight, she kind of went sideways. Don't know if she meant to do it or not, but it worked out well.
Clear the decks. Off a box. Yep. 8-6.
The lift.
Eight, 6. Lady Box trail. Kaylin Bowden. Number 7 with a surprise.
Nope, the lift.
Oh, she held it too long.
Yeah.
Up official says no. 9-6.
Watch it again. She kind of like palmed it, almost like trying to dunk it.
They let it go. 10-6. Timeout, Nimitz. Led briefly at 3-1.
Well, while we have a break, remind everyone that a lot of our games of the week we have filed away and stored away for your viewing pleasure on YouTube, youtube.com/the City of Irving. We have games from 2013, 14, and beginning of this year, 2015. In fact, I went back to look at last year's playoff game, MacArthur and Mesquite Schools. Watch that bi-district game. Get back in the football spirit and swing of things. Nice cold Friday night, I believe. We had that game in DeSoto. And it will be football time next week. We will, for you volleyball fans, we will have the Lady Tigers later on in the fall.
Class 6A, Allen, DeSoto, Katy, and Cedar Hill, your top 4 teams in the preseason high school football rankings. 10-6, 10-7.
Katy always seems to be in the finals every year.
Skyline and Trinity and Benton Guy are other area teams that made the preseason top 10. No surprises there either. Missing cross court, 10-8.
Coach showing him where to serve.
Run down deep by Orozco, but that was the fourth hit.
Good effort.
Can't fault for effort. Dropped it in front of Gray in the ace. There's no substitute for speed, and you can't fault anyone's effort in any sport. Off of Orozco, 13-8, and a 5-point cushion now for the Rough Riders. Lost the first game 25-22, lost game 2 30-28. Now trying to open up a 6-point lead in game 4. Over box. 14-8.
Biggest lead of the game.
Well, she brought the hammer down and now leading by 5. Here's Puente to serve. Another good serve. An all-out effort by Orozco with a kind of a Superman dive. Collision in the back row. Return by Galvan and missed it, 14-9. Benavides in for the Lady Vikes. Here you see her with Miles, number 15. Galvan. Galvan over Morado and in front of Orozco.
Well, that's where you have to hit it when the Lady Vikes have those 3 big players right up front. Hit it where they're not.
Bailey Morrow inserted in. Sierra Turner serving. And right between McGee and Orozco.
I was wondering when Coach E would call the time and trying to salvage something here in game 4. She does call time.
16-9 is the count. Rough Riders will be serving following this short timeout.
This is kind of a shift in momentum after that second game. We came out in game 3 and Saginaw was in a must-win situation and they really put it together. And then they got off to a pretty good start here as well. Coach's nightmare is when the ball is hit and just stops there and no one goes for it. That's almost like in football when someone jumps off sides or, commits a silly penalty that kills an offensive drive. Same thing in volleyball. There's no effort. It's almost like a gimme point.
Can't read each other's mind, and you have to make some kind of move.
I wonder if Orozco remembered the time before. Remember when she and a teammate collided a couple of points earlier, if that was on her mind or not.
Sierra Turner will serve, and she goes deep. Up high for Benavides. Benavides over Robinson, number 14, 16-10.
Boy, they needed this one, and this time she just played smart. Didn't try to power it over the net.
They feed Robinson, and she finishes it off.
Now Robinson, on the other hand, she's been pretty tough in the middle tonight.
17-10, a lead of 7. And you just kind of have the sense that everything in Saginaw has worked right in these last 2 games. 18-10.
Well, they're just finding the open spot, John. You know, not all of them have been spikes and power moves. They've also been able to dink it in corners and win on serves.
As good an early non-district match that you will see tonight. 19-10 as it goes by Orozco. And a 9-point lead now. 25-18 were the final numbers in game 3.
Watch it down the line, right past the libero.
Lancaster in the middle, Morado outside Benavides. Now they scatter, they push it over to Bowden. Short. Just couldn't get it high enough.
And Bowden had made a good play previously defensively as Benavides went high and came around from the weak side to save it.
Brienne Miles checks out. Keontae Jones in the serve. That's what she looks at. Back to Robinson. Another point for Saginaw. It is 20-11. Well, they have left it all on the court tonight. Hannah Lazinski to serve. Benavides blocked briefly by Morrow off the bottom of the net. 2012. Any kind of comeback's going to have to be put together right now to get back into this game. Trailing by 8. Tipped, it falls, it's good, 21-12.
The way Saginaw is playing right now, John, you would think that the Lady Vikings have a big hill to climb.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Saginaw's first game. I mean, they look like the fresh legs that started game 1. What an injection shot they got. McGee trying to surprise. There she is. Tasha in front of Lancaster, and Lancaster keeps it above the floor somehow. That misses deep. We're going to go to 5 tonight, and it'll be the best to reach 15.
The libero, Haley Lancaster. Boy, how many times have we seen her save a series on a great dig?
Digging out of a trench tonight. Pushed up high to McGee. They let it go. Lancaster let it go. It is 23-12. The fifth game will only reach 15 points, but you still have to win by 2. And a full pack tonight. Bowden. Game point. Timeout. Nope. Going to keep it out there. 24-12. Game point. It'll be Justice Vega. To McGee. We'll play 5 tonight. 25-12, the final score here in game 4. And get ready, a 5th game coming up. First one to 15 wins it. Back with more here on our ICTN Game of the Week. We go to 5 tonight here in this non-district matchup. Saginaw and the Lady Vikings of Nimitz. It'll be Saginaw on the right. First one to 15, provided they win by 2, will take the match. And it'll be Saginaw serving first. They got the rock. That's number 9, Sierra Turner. head count and the positions, and everything is A-OK to begin here. And number 9, Sierra Turner, serving for the Rough Riders. Nimitz winning the first 2, and the Rough Riders capturing games 3 and 4. Outside and long. Man, is it possible? 5 consecutive 1-0 leads.
Well, we had to be consistent.
Should have already written it down. One love. Turner feeds Robinson. 2 love.
Saginaw has really exploited that at the net with Robinson. Probably the MVP on the net for sure.
Down the line off of Benavides. Right back to Saginaw. To Galvan. Tried to steer it around Miles. And that one almost sails out of the gym. 3-0.
You know, with only going to 15, it's really paramount that the Lady Vikings stop the bleeding here early.
Robinson wanted to lace up her shoe, but had to get back in position on the front row. Short set, box. And the first point for the Lady Vikes.
And why not box? She's been instant offense up front.
Number 5, Paloma Orozco, senior. 1 of 6 on the varsity. Quick save on the side by Morrow. 1-on-1, Robinson, they let it go. Over us and back into play. 4-1. And Haley Lancaster to serve. Scoots back in the middle, looks over to the head coach as to where she wants to go. Benavides. And Benavides rifles it by Quintanilla on the back row, 4-2.
Oh, that was a big point for Nimitz.
They need a lift here.
Yeah, to be down 5-1, what could have been 5-1. Benavides right on the line.
Deontay Jones. Run down by Turner. Oh, it hit the light standard. It hit the light standard above. It's a dead ball, 4-3. Point Nimitz. Well, another thing we've seen tonight. Number 6, along with Benavides, Rodriguez. Access denied, 4-all.
Why not be tied? Game 5. Big play at the net.
Keontae Jones. Almost, well, she did lose her balance. She slipped. Turner just trying to make a play on the ball. 5-4 Nimitz, and a quick timeout taken by Saginaw.
Coach Calkins seeing things slip away a little bit on her team, and, you know, momentum ever since game 3 has pretty much been in Saginaw's side of the court. And she's seeing that slip away, and it's maybe not so much a X's and O's type timeout as it is just to kind of get their head straight and get the momentum back to their side.
Brief little run here at 4-1. Lady Vikes, so they'll continue with a hot serving of Keontae Jones. 5-4. Nimitz on top here in game 5. Turner up high to Bowden, and Bowden delivers. A nickel apiece.
Boswell really deep on the front line, a lot of talent there. So when they go to set one up, it could be either side that could really put the hurt on you.
Benavides gets the push. Last attempt. Up high and a whistle.
Oh, did she hit the net?
Net violation. 6-5. So in a normal game, this would be past the midway point. We'll play to 15, and you have to win by 2. Tatiana Benavides serving and missed it. She pulled it.
Oh, that's so critical in this stage. Final game, only going to 15. You know, you look at things under a microscope, everything's so much more magnetized when you get to this stage.
Morrill out, Vega into serve. Up high to McGee. Nice block. And that one over.
Well done.
Puente got a piece of it at first, and then Nimitz able to drop it over the defender.
Look at the move right there by Morado. She's done that a couple of times.
7-6. Nimitz on top. Nice hard serve. Is set by Vega. Bowden block. It's box. Briella box. 8-6.
Oh, what a great play at a critical time for the Lady Vikings.
Timeout Saginaw.
You get a point, but it's a defensive move that turns around and gives you the offensive point.
Man, she was right there to meet the challenge, number 3.
Yep. Watch Box, also watch McGee, number 1. They're both in that area, but Box, look at, she has long arms, and she gets the arms and extended up. She can get above that net. A good foot above the net when she really gets extended up there.
And just hope it stays in bounds on the return.
Don't hit the net, block it. Don't hit the net yourself, and keep it in bounds. It sounds simple, but it's not.
Riley Rodriguez serving. Nimitz leading by a deuce. There's a whistle, and the Rodriguez serve. Down the line, and
good.
She pushes. Well,
it's good.
Brought inside the line. 9-6. And the ace.
Watch it down the line. We'll take a look at it in slow-mo.
Couldn't tell there at the last, but it's good. He says, okay. To Bowden. And Bowden looked like it may have gone off the side of her hand and twisted down. 9-7.
We've seen that a few times tonight where, someone trying to make a big slam will hit it off the side of their hand and it ends up going in no man's land.
Over to McGee. Tipped to the net by Puente. Galvan. In position back deep was Orozco. And settling under it is Turner, and she misses it. Sierra Turner. They have taken rise off of it. 10-7 Nimitz.
Yeah, I think she just whiffed on it.
Okay, number 7 in the rotation, Stephanie Morado to serve. One of 6 seniors. 10-7 the count. At the antenna, Miles. McGee. Point, Saginaw. 10-8, number 14, Haley Robinson in.
Yeah, you get a 6-footer out there, and the 5-5 sits down.
Quick reaction to the middle by Box. Here she is again. How did that crawl over the top? Robinson.
Sometimes you just put enough on it. That's what Robinson did.
10-9. Miles. Nobody home. Ding dong. 11-9.
That was just a miscommunication point right there. One player turned her back on it thinking someone else is going to cover for her. The unforced errors. They'll give you an ulcer as a coach.
Natasha McGee is set. Looks over towards the bench. 11-9 Nimitz. The set by Vega. The attempt by Robinson. And the tip, 11-10. Number 8, Bailey Morrow at 5'10" on the front row. And a big serve here for Sierra Turner. That's how bad she wants it. Good serve. Box. Right there, Robinson. And around Turner, who had slipped down, and in front of Morrow on the outside, 12-10.
Turner just got tangled up. She was trying to make a move, and let's watch the point again. First of all, Robinson, a good move there. And watch, she just tried to go backwards, and she got just twisted around.
Robinson off of Morado. Nimitz quick to answer right back in position. Here's Galvan up and down and missed it. What?
Whoa.
12-11.
I don't understand what happened. Let's see what happens. Did they run into the net? Let's watch the replay.
If they did, it was McGee that may have,
Oh, yeah. See her hand?
Yep.
Went over. Yep, good call.
12-11. Here's Benavides. And Benavides serving notice. 13-11. Nimitz 2 points away from winning this match.
Benavides, great extension. Able to get it over the outstretched arms of the defenders up front and knock it in front of the back line.
Deontay Jones, 13-11 off the fingertips of Bowden. We have reached match point.
Will we see a timeout by Saginaw? Nope. Coach is asking for the players to rotate a little bit, sending Robinson deep defensively.
14-11, match point, and there it is as it goes underneath the net, and Nimitz winning in 5.
Boy, John, considering how this whole match went, it was kind of anticlimactic, wasn't it, how it ended?
Well, they trail 4-1, and the Lady Vikes come back in championship form. I mean, this was a good match tonight.
Yes, outstanding. He thought that the Vikings were going to just run away with this thing after the first 2 games, and then maybe they relaxed, or maybe Saginaw turned it up a notch and forced this into a 5th and final game, and the Nimitz Lady Vikings were able to find their form again and look like they did in the early go and come up with the win. A lot of fun, great match, great to call. And now we'll put volleyball to the side for a few weeks, and next time we see you here on ICTN, we'll be at Irving School Stadium for football.
Garland Lakeview and the Irving Tigers kick off the 2015 season. And our thanks to both coaches, our ICTN production crew, as the Lady Vikes win the match in 5. For Rob Willman, this is John Nelson saying good night from Nimitz High School.
Irving Game of the Week has been brought to you in part by Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning,